Okay, so I'm guided to make this message. It's on spot. I'm put on spot to make it. So I know that this message may be like an urgent message. You could be seeing like numbers 911. You could be seeing those numbers. You also could be seeing 444. It's just a reminder for you it's something urgent, something to do with an emergency. Maybe this message is an emergency. Also, you could be seeing 411. There's something about, the news. Maybe this is news. Maybe there's something about the news. Could be significant as well. And 444 is just a sign of a message and a reminder for you to know how protected you are. But that's not what I wanted to get into. If you've on this message, if you clicked on this message, this may be like a warning, or this may be, it may be like a warning. So, meaning like, there's something significant about being careful when it comes to what people give you. Not everything that people give you is a good thing. And I used to be fearful to talk about this. So, I mean, I'm not trying to put fear in anyone, or I'm not trying to make anyone feel like they gotta watch their back, or all the time. It's not about that. It's about being aware. So I'm guided to give you this message so that you could be more aware. Be more aware of your energy and the people energy, and why, and just asking why. Just listen to your intuition and being aware, because that's something I had to learn along this journey. And like I said before, I used to not want to speak about this because I didn't think people would get where I was coming from, or I didn't want to seem paranoid, or I didn't want to be fearful. But just over time, and just learning and listening and knowing that I wasn't the only one that had thought like this. Okay, now I'm like, okay, I could put the pieces together. I could put what needs to be put together, and make a message. So yes, going back to what I was saying, it's something about you being careful with when people give you things, asking why, paying attention to the energy you're in, paying attention to the energy they're in. I was guided to tell this story about, and there's so many times where this has happened, but I'm guided to tell this story. And maybe I'm on my way to my client right now, so I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to tell all of the stories, but I am guided to tell this story, and I'm trying to make it the long story short as much as possible. So, there was one time that this is around the time where I was lost for me, LOSS. Like this was around the season that I was going through my spiritual awakening, and I was losing things. Like this is around the time I was getting ready to lose my home, where I stayed, and I remember going to Dollar Tree. And I remember also paying attention to your surroundings, and just message about just being more aware. I remember going to Dollar Tree, right? And I remember being in the store. Two things happened that day that was strange to me. I remember seeing my mom's old friend daughter, and she had asked about my mom. And around that time, my mom was not doing good. This is also around the time my mom got really sick, and so I had to take in her, and just different things like that. So she ended up randomly just asking me, how's your mom? I ended up seeing her in this store. I was seeing, and what's funny, and I know you're like, it's nothing funny about this, Ari, but I just do that. That's just how I start things off. But what's funny is, I used to always see her, like around the time where I was going through my spiritual awakening, I would see her at stores I never used to see her before. So my spirit was trying to tell me something about this individual, but this was at the beginning. Was at the beginning. So I was learning to trust more and more what was going on. Well, I had to learn to trust more and more what was going on, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, but I want to get into how I was at the store. So that happened while I was at Dollar Tree. Another thing that happened while I was there is I saw this guy and I saw this girl. The girl, she looks like she probably was in her her teens. I really can't even tell you. And the guy, he looked, something just was weird about this situation. It really was. Anyway, so I go in the store, get what I need to get, go to the register. They were looking kind of weird, but I just didn't pay any attention to it. I did my little smirk, I did my little smile, kept it going, pay for my stuff, and then I went home. Oh, I forgot to tell this part. Dollar Tree is, at this time where I stayed, was like right in front of where I used to stay. So it was like right there, right across the street. So I go home, right? I pay for my stuff, I go home, and then next thing you know, and this is what I'm talking about, even with flyers, when people giving you flyers, let me say this part, people giving you flyers, people giving you cards and stuff like that, you got to be careful I'm guided to say, you got to be careful when it comes to things like this, because it's energy. And I know, and I'm not trying to spook anyone out, and I know this may sound all superstitious and everything, but I'm telling you, there's just something with it. And it happened too many times along my journey for me to not tell you, and for me to act like it didn't and to ignore it. So going back to what I was saying, and I made it at my client house, so let me try to hurry up. 2 more minutes. So going back to what I was saying, going back to what I was speaking of when it comes to the being careful with that. Yeah, so anyway, going back to what I was saying, I was about to say long story short. Obviously, this isn't short. I come home. Not 5 to 10 minutes later, I hear a knock on my door. And it's the guy and it's the girl. And he didn't even give me time. Like, I answered the door and I looked, because I'm like, I didn't even get time to gather everything, because I'm like, he handed me the flyer so fast, and it was like this Jehovah thing. It was like this Jehovah Witness flyer or something. No, it said something about like Jesus, and you know how those flyers are. Those type of flyers. And he hurries up and handed it to me, and he was like, I even forgot what he even said. But the girl, she didn't even look. It didn't even look like, what I'm trying to say, it didn't even look like they even believed in this. Like, if you would have saw the guy and the girl, I would never have thought that he would have came and knocked on my door and handed me a pamphlet like this. And so, it all happened so fast because he handed me so quick. And by this time I had learned anyway not to take things from people, because I just would pay attention to, like, when people would give me things, how things would go downhill, like certain things like that. When people gave me certain things, it still wasn't registering though, I will say that part. But if I would have thought about it, I probably wouldn't have took it. But it's so many times after that where I took things and I knew I shouldn't. But going back to what I was saying, like this, I would just say this was a journey of me just, okay, are you tripping? Are you not tripping? Should you take it? Then when you take it, this stuff ended up happening. So I had to just, I had to figure it out. And the stuff be happening so fast. But going back to what I was saying, he hands me the pamphlet so fast. She looks lost. She looks distraught. Something just wasn't not right about it. But he played this part like, kind of like where he was like, oh, I just go around, and I don't even remember what he said, but her on his side didn't even look right. It just, the whole scenario didn't look right. And so what's crazy is I was like, thank you. And I shut the door. The crazy part about that is something just told me, look and see if he's done this to any other door. Cause I stayed in like a complex where it's like 6 doors in this, building, like, and they straight across. So I'm like, let me see if he go knock on anyone else's door. He doesn't go knock on anyone else's door. So one of the things and then I was like, I knew it. So the moment I picked that up, what did I do with it? I put it on the outside, like I put it on the back of my door. Like I just put it I put it at the back of the door, and I later threw it away. What I mean is, I took it out back and I put it outside the door because I didn't want it in the home. I didn't want, something just told me to do that, and I don't want the energy in the home. So I ended up doing that. But the crazy thing about it is, things just start, going downhill after that. And what I really believe happened was, he saw my light. People can see your light. There is something where these energies, and you think people be so superstitious. You think people just be talking. There's people that can see your light. There's people, even when you're going through a spiritual awakening. There's people that can see. So going back to, I had to pause the video, but going back to what I was saying, people see your light. And so it's like there's a hunt for that. And I believe that what ends up happening, the things that they give you, these pamphlets, these cards, these whatever they give you, is charged up with some type of energy, negative intention for those who are walking a spiritual path, for those who are enlightened or have some type of, or have light within them, and they know it. And that's when they bombard you with different things. So it's something about you being careful. So maybe this has happened to you, or maybe this is going to happen, and maybe this is just a 411 for you, a 911 for you, to know that you're, not, to take it, and to know that you're divinely guided and protected in this time. So let's say you did take it. Either way, one of the things that I did was fast. I made sure I fast. I'm not gonna tell you what you gotta do, but something just told me to fast after that. And yes, things went downhill, but if it wasn't probably for me, like, just doing things that I needed to do on my end, it probably would have got worse. But there are so many other times where I feel like I'll be like, my energy will be coming back and lighten back up and things like that. And next thing you know, someone comes. It was one time I was at Walmart, and I had told myself, I'm like, you're not taking anything else for people. Like, that's just where I was. I was at Walmart, and I was standing outside, and me and my mom, we was waiting on an Uber. This was probably a year after that. And, I felt good. I was getting my energy back. All of this, I felt light. And I know I had a light around me. But I knew that inwardly. I didn't know that outwardly yet. And so going back to what I was saying, because I gotta go. Going back to what I was saying, there was this guy and his son. He comes up. He's walking towards me, and he's looking. You could tell he was looking at my range, like he was looking at my aura. Because when I go back to it, and I see myself from the outside out, he was looking at me. So it's like he could see something as well. And so he handed me another pamphlet. And my mom looked at me, because I had just told her about, I was like, even though like my mom was going through what she was going through, like there were still certain like talks I used to have. And she was like, I thought you said you weren't going to take any more of that. Because what was funny is, when they walked off, the son was staring at me. He was looking to see, like, he was watching me. So the guy, he's looking around, I guess, after he handed me the thing, he looks around to see who else he can, I guess, give it to or whatever. The son was looking. I caught the son looking to see what I was doing, what I'll do with it, or just look. He was just watching me. And he saw that I caught him. He tried to walk off fast. And so I ended up leaving a pamphlet. It was a basket that was nearby. I ended up putting the pamphlet in the basket. And I ended up walking off. I ended up getting in the Uber after that. But the crazy thing about that, as soon as I got in the Uber, there was a car that was about to hit the Uber. Like, soon as we got in the car, it was a car that was coming out really fast and was about to hit the Uber, but it didn't. Caught it just in time. And then things in my life around that time kind of start going back downhill. So it's something significant about you. I'm not telling you this just to be making this up. I'm telling you this because I experienced it. And maybe you've experienced it before and you probably think that you tripping. You're not tripping. Or maybe it's just a warning for someone who there's something that goes on. There's people that know who you are. There's people that know people who are rising up and are going through an awakenings. And this is just a message for you to know that and to protect yourself and to set intentions and to stay strong in who you are and believe in yourself and, continue to talk with source, continue to believe that you're protected, you're unconditionally loved, continue to see this through, continue to know that you deserve where you're going, and you deserve to be this light, and you deserve to have your freedom and be you without anyone trying to come and siphon or abstract your energy. So, stand strong in that. And this message is just to encourage you to keep believing in yourself, keep meditating, keep talking to source, keep knowing that, knowing that you're divinely guided and protected. I gotta go.